Alright, today I think we're just going to take it easy and we will work on the rear bumper and try to clean some things up. We've got just a whole bunch of hazing of the material. These guys up here, the light stanchions are all kind of pitted and what have you. I ain't going to worry about that any. We'll just clean them up as best we can with some steel wool. Looks like we got some aftermarket slotted head screws in there. We'll try to replace those with some stainless or something a little bit nicer. Just generally clean this thing up. This guy down here has got, the deer hoof on the bottom of it, and I think that is standard for a Bel Air. Like I say, we found some parts that aren't standard for a Bel Air. Like this guy on the passenger side does not have that hoof mark stamping. I think what I'm going to do, again, just clean them all up as best I can. Hopefully with some steel wool, we might be able to get through that rust. We've been able to get through on some things. In fact, I tested a little spot right there, and it looks like it cleaned up pretty well. There is some pitting in there. But we'll clean it up as best we can with some steel wool, and then I'll mask those off on both sides and paint the hoof prints in there as best I can with some flat black, and I think that'll dress things up a little bit, and we'll just leave it at that. So today is just to stay inside because it's hot out. I've got good air insulation inside the shop and fans to kind of keep things cool. So we're just going to take it easy and work on this guy today. So we'll put it into fast mode and we'll see you on the other side. So we started out by working on the tailpipe extensions that are chrome, and they kind of dress up the tailpipes that come out underneath the bumper. And just spent a little time on that, cleaning those guys up first round. Next, we went into trying to hog off some of the hazing and what have you, the main part of the bumper itself, and it actually came off pretty well. I was happy with how things actually turned out in the eventual side of this, but boy, was there a whole bunch of elbow grease applied to this thing. I mean, I probably spent maybe 5 or 6 hours boiling all that time down to this few minutes that we've got in this video here. But again, just a whole bunch of elbow grease. Sorry, it's probably kind of a boring video, but it is kind of neat to see that chrome really take a shine. Took off these check plates on the rear escutcheons, and come to find out somebody put a wood screw in through a piece of paint stick that actually held this thing in place. So it held it really well. So I don't know, I might put them back in, but
want to make sure that we do a good job of putting something in there that's not going to break easily and come off and end up losing it for the car. But yeah, that was kind of a surprise. So again, stuff to clean up and fix up, right? So in taking off this lens on the passenger side of the rear, one of the screws basically stripped on its Phillips head. So I had to cut a slot with a little pointed hacksaw and use a slotted screwdriver to get it to come out. Very difficult. So we'll see if we can't find some screws to replace and put that back in when we come back up with the car. So just really concentrating on the rust on the driver's side escutcheon bottom by the deer hoof down there. There's a bunch of rust down there, and I was really happy. You know, just taking the time working with steel wool seemed to do a decent job of getting that stuff out of there. So in eventuality, it looked all right, but boy, was it a bunch of work. These nuts on the bumper became a bit of a trick to get out. Use this real thin set of pliers to try to hold the square part of the carriage bolt in because it wouldn't stay in its square slot. Eventually we were able to get them off. We cleaned up the threads, put a little oil on them, and they'll be good to reuse when we come back up with the car. Just doing a little bit more cleaning on the bumper, and then we mask off the hoof areas on both escutcheons on both sides, and we'll get to painting those with some flat black. just cleaning up some bumper bolt threads with the wire brush and putting a little oil on it.
All right, I'm pretty well satisfied with that. We got the hooves painted, as well as the, apologize for the LED lighting. It just buzzes in the camera. But the chrome shined up pretty well. I was worried about this side and the rust that we had down here. Most of it shined up, got through that, and we painted the hooves back into place. I think the one that I did freehand over here turned out better than the one that had the stamping to it. So not dissatisfied with that in the least. Oiled up the bolts to put this back on later. Oh, nice. I'll pull this over. A little bit of weight in the doggone thing. Anywho, that's what she looks like. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and clean up and head to the house and get this thing distilled down and up to YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching. Take care, folks. We'll catch up with you later. Bye.